I'd like to take a minute to thank our sponsor, Ecotherapy. These are the Eco Mints. They're made using state-of-the-art nanotechnology strength to CBD particles so that your body can actually use and benefit more from the hemp plant's magic. Little breath mints. They're amazing. I'm actually using the Rest mints. I take one every night before I go to bed. I sleep like a log. They've got other flavors that you can check out at their website below me. It says they've got like a revive for when you wake up. They've got a relax if you're just looking to chill. And you can find them all at their website, ecotherapycbd.com. And if you use the Worst in 10 promo code, you actually get 10% off all your purchases. So, Ecotherapy, check them out, guys.
We good?
Yep.
All right. Hey, welcome back to Worse Than 10. We're about to start week 3. It was a fantastic week 2.
It was a great week 2.
First, please give us a like, share, comment on our YouTube page, comment on Facebook, and we've had some comments about should I drop this? Please send us an email, ask us questions. We're happy to answer them. Share to a friend. And Gail Sayers, we'll start off with that.
Yeah.
Passed away today. That's
Chicago, one of the best Chicago Bears running backs ever. I mean,
top 5 all time.
Of the Bears running backs, or you think top 5 all time? Because I mean, there's some really he's up there. He's definitely top 10. But
definitely.
But I mean,
comes in around 7.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But what makes him stand up? Like Brian's song, which you haven't seen, but you know of the story about Brian Piccolo and Gail Sayers, which is just one of those amazing stories. And ever since I saw that movie, Gail Sayers has always been a personal hero of mine. I've got thoughts and prayers to his family and everybody that the Bears organization. I mean, that's a big one you guys lost.
Did you guys win this week? Fantasy. I went 4 out of 5. I'll start. I thought I was going to lose 3 out of 5. But in the last couple of minutes of that Raiders game, that 54-yard kicker by the Raiders kicker
Carlson
made me win my Vampire League. And the tight end, I have his name written down. Oh, Darren Waller. Yeah, just went off. And I ended up winning a league that I didn't think I was going to win. So 4 out of 5 again.
Yeah, that's good. It's better than I did 2 out of 5. Into the Barkley injury, I got hit with a lot of injuries. With the Michael Thomas from the week before, he was out. Barkley, so a lot of my first round picks were out.
Yeah.
So I got lucky in the 2 that I won, and so I don't know. I'm gonna try my best and rebound. The waivers are out there.
It's all about how you work the waiver wire, which we're going to talk about
right now. There's so many potential players out there that are going to be taking over big roles. That could be. I mean, it's
or some temporary roles until hopefully some of these guys come back that maybe you definitely shouldn't drop.
So it's a real crapshoot on who's available and who's not.
Yeah.
So
Steven, how'd you do? 2-0. You won both leagues?
Nice job, Steven. We called him that.
Yeah,
we told him at the beginning of the season he's going to win.
But he did lose Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
But you made a waiver pickup and you got Jared McKinnon.
Yep.
And you probably, I don't even know if you were first in waiver priority in that league.
But you just said he got him now. Didn't you say you just picked him up?
I picked him up yesterday because
So you did put him on the waivers.
Was yesterday.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So many people have
just
missed on that one.
And
I would have done it in whatever league you did it in, but
he's gonna be my workhorse.
Yeah,
he's got to be. That's
for at least
Saquon was.
A couple weeks. I mean,
I've heard 4 weeks.
Yeah, he could be there for 2 weeks. I mean, well, you don't want to say 4 weeks just yet because if they put him on the IR, if they put Mostart or Coleman on the IR, then 4 weeks for sure. But it could be 2 to 3.
Yeah.
But either way, McKinnon's gonna get some carries.
Neither are on IR as of right now. But McKinnon could also just run away with the job, and those guys.
And we've loved McKinnon since his Viking days. The kid's got the talent. He just has had the worst of luck staying healthy. And
7 fucking years for him to finally.
You know what's even worse for the 49ers is they've got to play in that same shitty stadium this week that they lost, 4 players on? Bosa, Solomon Thomas, Garoppolo, and then their 2 running back. And so they've got to go back to the New Jersey crapshoot to play the Giants, and I feel bad for
run over the Giants.
Hopefully, with whatever backups they have.
The Giants are terrible. Vampire League update: BJ lost.
Yep.
By quite a bit. I mean, I play him this week. Should win, but we'll see. He made 3 waiver pickups, pretty good ones.
Yeah.
So
I didn't even notice who we picked up.
Barkley's the new star for the Giant, Deion Lewis.
So
he picked up the tight end for Dallas, who actually scored 20 points.
Not
Jarwin's new guy, the new Jarwin.
It's not Blake Bell.
I can't remember his name, but and he picked somebody else up.
Let's see here. Because, I mean, the tight end I really like is that Logan Sample or whatever Sample from Drew Sample from Cincinnati. I think he's going to be a stud. But the Logan Thomas, that was who I was thinking of for Washington.
Okay.
Washington football team. All right, let's see what Vampire Fish has got. D. Schultz for Deion Lewis, Mike Davis. So, yeah, I mean, he's got some players.
The starter for Carolina for the next 4 to 6 weeks.
Yep. Deion Lewis, who I think is good this week, but Devontae Freeman.
Yep. He's good for a week. Devontae Freeman, once he learns the playbook, I think should be started going forward.
I know I picked him up in a couple leagues. That should be fun to see that play out.
Well, we watched games here. Watched the Chiefs game. That was pretty exciting. Harrison Butker kicked 3 field goals in a row.
58 yards.
Yeah. He made all. Now, 2 were penalties or timeouts.
Yeah.
But that's ice.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Ice water.
There's a lot of kickers have always said they love being iced. So, I mean, that's one thing. There's a lot of problems that the Chiefs have right now on that defense.
Yeah,
we should have really outplayed this team a whole lot better, and for the fact that we went into overtime is appalling to me.
Yeah, but a win's a win.
A win is a win, but when our secondary plays that shitty, it's a questionable win. And we've got a big contest this Monday night against the Ravens.
That's going to be.
We cannot play like that against the Ravens.
Yep.
Number 1 versus number 2 rankings.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what power ranking you see. It's going to be Ravens, Chiefs, or Chiefs, Ravens.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And
it will be after this week. Yeah. One of them will drop a couple spots. The loser will drop.
Whichever lose. And if the Chiefs don't play better, they're going to be the losing team on Monday night.
The Bills game we also watched. Let's talk about the Bills a little bit. Week 1 was Josh Allen's first 300-yard game of his career.
400.
Then, week 2, 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. So 2 records right there.
So who did he play against? The Jets and
Miami. Who you say you love their defense.
I do like their defense, and I love Brian Flores, and I am not happy with how that's going.
How about the Cowboys come back in Atlanta? That was a crazy game.
Oh, my God.
Atlanta had that game overdone. Everyone just keeps walking on Atlanta. They can't finish games.
No, they can't. And I think that's all got to come down to the head coach now. If it happens once, you can blame the team, offensive coordinator, whatever, for blowing that big of a lead. When it comes down to the second time that's happened in that embarrassing fashion, you've got to blame that coach.
Yeah.
I'd drop him now. I just cut the rope and be like, all right, Dirk Cutter,
they're scoring so many points.
But why are they letting go of that?
Because their defense is terrible.
They need to keep pushing. They need to sit there and stop. Okay, they play too conservative when they've got those big leads. Just keep letting Matt Ryan throw the ball.
Yeah.
You got an MVP-esque quarterback. Let them throw the ball.
Atlanta, I think, is going to be one of those. It's going to be one of the teams like Dallas last year that players, fantasy-wise, on that team are going to score so many points and win you leagues, but the team is just not going to win games.
No, hopefully. I like Atlanta. I really was hoping that they'd.
I like them. I'd rather just have their players in
Yeah.
fantasy leagues. Like Calvin Ridley this week. He topped week 1 with a better week 2. He was fantastic.
Russell Gage Jr. That kid just came out of nowhere. But he took over for Julio without any problems.
Yeah. How long too?
Not too long.
Okay.
Just week by week.
And I have some other studs like Leonard Fournette had 2 touchdowns. Again.
Trash time.
It was, but
I think
better. I think he's lowered the playbook.
That's exactly what I've told people this week. I've got a lot of questions about should I start Fournette? Should I start him this week? And I say yes. He's got the playbook down. This is the week that they're going to play him. It's in who are they playing against? They've got an easy game. Tampa Bay. All right, but I know it's not. Because I know I've picked up. I want them to sit Brady.
Well, Darren Waller had a good game too. Great game. Monday Night Football. 103 yards, a touchdown.
Broncos.
Okay.
So.
320. Yeah, this is the league game.
Yeah.
Jared McKinnon, 77 yards and a touchdown. Only like 4 carries though, but that was before everyone else went out. I mean, now he's going to be the guy. He's the only guy there.
Well, Tevin Coleman, they say could start, but they don't exactly know how much they're going to use him for.
I've seen he's going to miss multiple weeks.
I've also seen that, but it's hit or miss. So
Mostert has an ACL sprain, questionable to doubtful. He
won't play
1 or 2 weeks.
He'll be out for a couple weeks.
Other good ones. Josh Allen we talked about 400 yards, 4 touchdowns. Some bad ones. Fuck you for your fucking. I picked up Miller for Tampa Bay.
Scotty Miller? Yeah, he had
1 point. He dropped a touchdown in the end zone.
Yeah, he had not as many targets.
Game.
And you would think because, Evans was hurt, right? Or no, Godwin got hurt. Godwin got hurt. You would think that would open up those slots.
I thought I was the smartest guy in the room when I picked him up and slid him in there. Terrible.
I didn't even start. I have him on so many teams, but didn't start him.
I dropped him this week.
But
Zach Ertz putting up goose eggs.
Yeah,
Goddard's the guy.
Goddard, yeah, they're really going towards Goddard.
I've been hearing rumors of Zach Ertz being traded, actually.
If I was Ertz, I would want to be traded.
Yeah, I would too.
But, I mean, why would you want to get rid of Ertz? Because he's got great hands and nobody else is getting the ball. Nothing is happening well for Philadelphia right now.
No.
Philadelphia is a shit show.
The running game's not doing too bad.
Yeah, Miles Sanders looks fine, but they have to keep playing catch-up, and they're putting the ball in Carson Wentz's hands, and he's not throwing accurately. He's playing piss-poor football this year so far. 2 weeks, I'm not convinced that Wentz is go back and get Foles.
A little late for that. Tom Brady, I think, was a dud, even though everyone's talking about, he won a game and he's back to poise. 217 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception does not make for good fantasy production.
No.
If you're a Tampa fan, you're happy you won the game, but
Tampa
and Gronk wasn't even on the field.
Brady has never been a fantasy player. He was once years and years and years ago, back whenever him and Peyton Manning were going against each other. He hasn't produced in fantasy for at least 3 or 4 years. I don't know
about that.
Just look at him. Look him up, man. I'm telling you. So I would not
go back to 2018. I bet he had pretty good.
No, I'm like that.
4,000 yards,
29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions.
That's pretty good. Last year wasn't that great. Before that,
going to get you a whole lot of points right there.
The 4,000 yards. I don't know. I still don't trust Brady.
Anthony Miller for the Bears, nothing, 0. They couldn't find on the field. And you were right, Robinson
showed up.
Right back to work, showed up, had a great game.
And I'm pissed they didn't pay him.
Yahoo says they will.
He deserved a paycheck after that game.
He got his paycheck. He's going to get an extension. But Anthony Miller, I dropped him in my league. Yahoo says he's droppable in 12-man leagues now. He's
I mean, it's difficult to try and pinpoint what's going to happen with the Trubisky and the Bears offense. they're very bipolar-esque almost. 1 week they're
targets, nothing.
Yeah, it's just not. Yeah, the Bears. They're too unpredictable for me to rely on them. That's why I have Robinson as like a third flex player in our 14-man league.
I don't want now, and I don't want any Bears on any of my fantasy teams, and I just got rid of the one that I had, and I'm happy to be done with them. This is the week where you can start dropping people. That. And if he does something in future weeks, then I'll pick him up and stream him. But I have any interest in him right now. I forget who I picked up. I think I picked up McKinnon where I dropped him, which I think is much better. How about I think last week, maybe I say this at the beginning of every year, I don't remember this many injuries. This is especially for week 1 and 2. Oh my God. So many teams are decimated by losing first round picks.
I am almost positive this is a preseason problem.
I think so too.
Because, I mean, you're going out there, you haven't had the proper training, and you're being pushed to go all out without having a couple games of just easing yourself into games.
You've been practicing on Zoom.
Yeah, it's just and it's just not like small names. Like, I'm sure there's probably been tons of injuries that have happened.
What are you doing?
But there probably been a ton of injuries that happened in the first 2 weeks, but none that were such big names. I mean, these names are, like you said, first-round players that have been hurt. And so it is really rough for a lot of these players.
On the IR, out for the season. Garoppolo, sprained ankle, questionable. You can get him back in a week or two, but hopefully he's just back up for people. Jalen Reagor out several weeks.
Yeah.
I think it's a UCL. Is that right?
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
UCL came up.
Mostert ACL. Miss a week or two. Tevin Coleman knee. I've heard miss multiple weeks. You've heard different ones. Different timetable.
McCaffrey
ankle 4 to 6 weeks. That's a tough one. I mean, you're hoping you don't drop him. You're so hopeful that he comes back. But.
Yeah, I mean, 4 to 6 weeks. They're looking for a playoff push at that point.
Yeah,
but if you're
as a fantasy, that's when your playoffs are gonna start.
Exactly, and so that's nice. But if you're a Carolina player and you don't want to risk pushing them back, and you already kind of feel like your season's done,
and you sit him because you sign him for a lot, and you shelve him for next year.
Yep,
which
would suck for a lot of people who had him. So I mean, anybody who has McCaffrey, pick up Mike Davis now. If he's not, he should not be available by the time you hear this, but
he probably won't be. But you should have already picked him up.
Yep.
Cortland Sutton, ACL, out for the season.
And Drew Lock.
He didn't even not out for the season.
But I mean, Drew Lock. I mean, they lose both their number one wideout, their number one QB,
their number one linebacker.
Yeah.
That team's decimated.
Yeah.
Noah Fant is the only bright spot.
God, Noah Fant's amazing.
Yeah, he is.
Noah Fant's been awesome.
Sterling Shepard.
Yeah, he's always hurt.
On IR, out for at least 3 weeks. This is the IR where you can come back in weeks. Turf toe. I'm going to tell you, we talked about turf toe last week.
It's not a real thing.
It is a real thing. I looked it up, and I asked someone that actually played football besides you. It's a sprain in the big toe of the tendon.
That's not a thing.
I've heard it's a thing.
That's not a thing.
I've stubbed my toe. It hurts like a motherfucker.
Yeah, but it doesn't put you out for 4 weeks.
What if I was running routes and catching touch? It doesn't keep me from wandering off the sofa to get a drink.
Lord.
Yeah.
Turf toes for pussies.
All right.
But I don't.
Fair enough. You did play.
Sterling Shepard's not that's Darius Slayton's that number one guy over there. So Shepard's just a toy.
Yeah. Yeah, you can probably drop Sterling Shepard and pick up somebody else.
Yeah.
I on your health insurance. I know.
Okay.
See, it's a thing.
Whatever.
Fucking idiot.
It's stupid. It's for pussies.
How about we talked about last week? Connor Snell. Connor was out, going to be out multiple. Everyone picked up Snell, and Connor came right back and had a good game.
Yeah. And Connor's a good running back, and it comes up to that offensive line. That offensive line is legit out there, and they'll make anybody look like a great running back. Remember last year when Jalen Smith looked like the next big stud out there? But now it's, Connor is a good running back. He's got great vision. I mean, he's not going to break many tackles. He's not going to, catch a lot of balls.
All the people, and we told people to do it, pick up Snell. Now those people are like, fuck. Because he didn't turn
Sorry.
out. Yeah, sorry. Like I said last week, that was the best our stats are going to be on giving advice. You're 500 or you won.
How did the Mixon thing play out for you?
He didn't. He scored over 10 in one league, but like 8 in another, so I do owe you lunch. Yeah, did not work. I'm hopeful this week.
God.
I'm telling you,
bench him.
No,
you know what? No, don't bench him. Trade him for a running back hungry team who's desperate right now, who's 0-2. No, go to the 0-2 people.
Yeah.
And then you sit there, you fish Mixon at there.
You're right.
Because he's not worthwhile. But that name, people are going to sit there and be like, oh, dude, I love Joe Mixon.
I like that. That's good advice.
It is great advice.
That's the best advice you've given in years on this show. Nick Bosa tore ACL.
That's a big
out
one.
for the season.
Booger
Lock, AC joint. We'll see. Devontae Adams has a hamstring injury.
I don't think that's questionable. I think he'll play. I think he'll play.
Hope so. Tyrod Taylor. We watched this Chiefs game. Questionable to start. We don't know how long he's going to be out. He had a rib injury. And producer Steven sent us a story. I kind of heard about it yesterday. We knew at the beginning of the game he was out. And I was asking during the game, how do you have a chest injury pregame? Did you slip and fall on something and hurt your chest? They gave him an injection for a painkiller, and the fucking doctor pierced his lung and stuck the fluid into his lung. He had to go to the hospital after the game. He actually stuck. I love Tyrod Taylor. He's a tough guy. He stuck it out and watched the whole game from the sidelines and then went to the hospital. Can you imagine a needle, the guy missing your rib and going into your lung and a numbing medication into your lung? Don't you think that would make that lung relax and stop moving when you want to breathe?
You'd probably feel weird or some sort of funky.
Well, yeah, I think that's
like it already felt funky to begin with. So I mean, who knows? He might have been like, "This sucks." I thought this was gonna be better. You know?
But I think he's lost his job now.
Oh,
probably.
They have to give it to Herbert.
By his fault.
Herbert looked awesome.
Looked really good. Now, would you pick him up?
I did.
As a back.
Well, I picked him up in my one league where I can have 2 QBs.
Okay.
The super flex. Yeah. Picked him up to put in there because I lost Locke and I don't trust Driscoll.
Yeah.
So I picked him up and tried that.
I like him as a backup.
I like Herbert. I like his poise. I like how he threw the ball.
Mike Williams is coming around.
He used them all well. Joshua Kelly looked like a beast.
I picked up Joshua Kelly in a league that nobody touched on. I was like, fuck, I'll take it.
Yeah, like I am shocked at how he came out of nowhere too. But I loved Herbert. And I just want to go on point real quick and say something about my best friend in the world, Joe Burrow. So last Thursday, I watched the game, and Burrow looks amazing. Yeah. Like that boy, like he looked poised. He had great stance in the pocket. If he had an offensive line, the ceiling on this kid would be massive.
Yeah.
Out of the 2 QBs in that game between the Bengals and the Browns, I would rather have Burrow as my quarterback than Baker Mayfield.
Who is this guy?
Joe Burrow? He's terrible.
Who's this?
I don't know.
Who's this guy?
Look at it. 509 yards, 3 touchdowns. For a rookie, that's great.
That's
not Josh Allen numbers. but Josh Allen's in his 3rd year.
But Joe Burrow looked good. Like I'm
he's
shocked.
Gonna break rookie records.
I still can't get on that boat because I mean he's got to play the Ravens twice and the Steelers twice. He's not
available in any league. People are either starting him.
It is hard to like this guy. No, he looks like so big.
Well, he looks like he probably got laid a lot more than T.J. Hawkinson.
Yes.
That guy, fuck.
Yeah, Joe Burrow does fuck. But I do want to go on record and say that I may have been wrong about Burrow.
I would wait more than 2 weeks to.
I would, but I love the way the guy played the game. Like that's where the big thing came from. Is like when I watched him in college, wasn't sold on him at all. Watched him play.
Where'd you watch the Thursday night game?
At home.
On what?
I streamed it on Front Row Sports or First Row Sports. I don't know. It's an illegal site. I'm pretty sure they put me on a list.
I had to watch it on my fucking phone on Yahoo Sports, and I'm walking around and it sucked.
Yeah.
No, it won't cast to my TV from Yahoo Sports.
Yeah, it's NFL Network only, and it's stupid as fuck.
Unless it's the Chiefs are in it, then that game's on.
Yeah, didn't like Amazon Prime like last year?
They did. I think it's like after week 5, Amazon starts doing it. But the first couple weeks, you're just let me look it up.
They're trying to push that NFL Network for people to buy. I don't want to fucking get NFL Network because it's only good for 4 months. Now I need to watch.
All right, one more. Paris Campbell, torn PCL.
PCL is such an awkward ligament.
Questionable. I've heard could be out for a very long time.
He should not rush that at all.
Yeah.
I tore my PCL, and it's because it's the ligament that's right at the front.
Yeah.
And it is. Yeah, I'm not.
So lots of injuries.
Yeah.
And we'll do.
You didn't even mention Solomon Thomas.
Well, I didn't see defense. I mean,
you put Bosa in there.
Well, yeah. I mean, he's like the forefront of that.
Solomon Thomas has been around. Never mind.
So the 49ers are decimated.
Yeah.
We covered that. So who did we all pick up to fill some of those holes? Dion Lewis, some people picked up.
Dion Lewis.
Devontae Freeman.
Who just
I think
signed.
if you had picked up Devontae Freeman earlier yesterday, it wouldn't have been a waiver. You could have just added your team because he hadn't signed. He was a nobody or not contractually obligated to anyone. So that wouldn't have cost you a waiver pickup.
Yeah, he's tiny.
Oh, yeah, Devontae Freeman.
Is he?
Yeah. He won.
He looks bigger on film.
He's listed at 5'8".
No, well, they're probably shorter.
Jarrett McKinnon was a big pickup.
Jarrett McKinnon is a great one. Who's the guy for Carolina?
Mike Davis. Joshua Kelly for the Chargers, if you can find him. He's a good pickup.
Joshua Kelly's probably taken in most leagues except the one I couldn't.
Is still available. Jordan Howard, if you have him and you're still sitting on him for some reason, drop him. We'll get into that when we talk about drops.
All right.
Miles Gaskin is still available. Frank Gore's still out there, and the other kid for him.
Frank Gore's a good.
6 points. He's not great, but he's Frank Gore.
You're gonna get some production. You're gonna get something.
But there's also P. Ryan out there.
Devontae Freeman went to the Jets for a workout, and they didn't sign him, which makes me wonder why not. He's younger than Gore.
But you got P. Ryan behind Gore, who looks pretty good, and I think he played a few touches. He was hurt the week before.
Yeah, he was.
So P. Ryan also a good pickup as well for the Jets because Bell's still not going to be playing. So he's a good guy to look at. Keenan Cole for the Jacksonville Jaguars. If you've lost a wide receiver, Keenan Cole for the Jags is going to be a stud.
I'd rather have Laviska Shenault
because
he runs the ball and he catches the ball.
Shenault's great. We're not saying he's not.
They're going to put that guy on defense.
He's got a touchdown every game so far.
Who, Keenan?
Yeah.
Keenan Cole. Keenan Cole is good. He's having a good, solid year so far.
Those are
whatever happened to D.D. Westbrook? He was awesome 2 years ago. He's an afterthought now.
For anybody who's lost Kittle for a couple weeks, who's still questionable, Logan Thomas for the Washington football team.
Yep. You can call them the Redskins. It's our podcast. We don't give a fuck.
I will be correct.
It's not their name anymore.
Yeah. The Washington football team. But Logan Thomas, he's had a very good year so far.
I like the guy from Dallas better.
Schultz.
He led in targets.
Schultz is very good, and I don't think many people are going to be looking at him. The other tight end that I really like right now is Sample. I know, but you asked me who do we want to fill these players in.
But then you went on and on.
Exactly. This is what happens when you talk sports to people.
Why can't I give you the subject and you run with it like Saquon Barkley and just get like a yard and just quick answer at the top? You're like Forrest Gump.
It's because I'm knowledgeable and I'm trying to give our listeners something to think about while they're.
I like that. This show is full of bullshit. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. We'll do some post-waiver pickups and then some sit starts. And then we have some emails that we got.
Ooh.
Yeah, start sits for week 3. First, we want to give a shout out to Smokin Joes BBQ in Olathe, which supplied our food again tonight.
Oh, the pork? Was it pork? I don't know. The potatoes were amazing, and the cabbage.
Potatoes, cabbage.
Oh my god! And there was a croissant in there.
Yeah.
Fucking legit, dude. That was.
They have great food. They give us food
every week, man.
So we want to give them a shout out. Thanks so much to Rhonda that owns it. Now let's do some post waiver pickups. Now, by the time we do our podcast on Wednesday night, you'll see it later Wednesday night, maybe Thursday morning. Most of the waivers have gone through, but here's some players that we kind of like that you can still get that might still be available.
Hopefully.
You want me to just run through my 5 and you hit your 5?
All right.
Jared McKinnon. I picked him up in 2 leagues. I think he's fantastic. He's still out there a little bit. He's going to be the starter for
a couple weeks at least.
Couple weeks, maybe more.
Yeah.
But I like him even in a timeshare. He's still good.
Yeah. You don't want to rely on him too much because he is.
I do have him started this week.
Because, I mean, he is injury prone and you can't be comfortable with that turf again out there. But, yeah, I like the McKinnon pickup.
McKinnon has never had turf toe, so that's good news. Right?
Turf toe.
Devontae Freeman, kind of under the radar, signed by the Giants. He could still be available and I think he's be early down between tackles guys.
He should be picked up and at least sat on the bench this week.
Yeah.
Because I wouldn't
start him this week.
Definitely wouldn't start him. Have him on your bench because he'll take over that starting role in at least a week or 2.
I think he will.
If anything, this week he'll be garbage time.
He will just to give him some work and get him in
some reps
in shape. Yeah.
Yep.
And my next 2, I think I wouldn't start either of you guys. You can't. I think one is healthy now and might start. Brandon
Ayuk.
And then Deebo Samuels, because San Francisco is in dire need of help. These 2 guys, one's a rookie, one's a third year guy.
Second year.
Yeah. Now's the time, I think, to grab them off waivers and stash them and use them next week. Because they come back after week 3. They could start week 4.
I drafted Ayuk, haven't dropped him yet because I keep thinking as if it's going to happen at some point. And
he's Samuels, and I'm not dropping him. And I picked him up in another league because I dropped him this week.
I love Nick Mullins. I think the 49ers have got one of the best backup QBs.
He does. He's very good.
So I expect them to not –
LSU?
I think so.
Stephen
will have it up there at some point. But I really like that situation. So if they can get Deebo and Ayuk together out there, I think it'll really help out.
Dude,
INS.
Doing something weird right now. It's not reacting at all.
It's INS.
You see it?
No.
The other one I have is Michael Pittman Jr., rookie.
The Steelers.
No, Indy.
Indianapolis. That's right.
Now with
right.
Paris Campbell injured. And really,
Phillip Rivers looks terrible, and I'm really having a hard time trusting many of him getting the ball out to any of those wideouts. So
I wouldn't start this guy this week.
I'd sit on him
in a pinch if you're really desperate. But Pittman Jr. he's great. He's a great receiver.
I will always give respect to Rivers, but he's just not the same. And I would really stand clear from those the wide receiver situations out there because he's having a hard time getting the ball over to him.
And T.Y. Hilton hasn't really shown up either.
Exactly.
That's going to be a running team from now on. Jonathan Taylor is gold.
Yep. All right, so the ads that I got, I talked about this guy a lot. I really like him. Logan Davis, Washington football team for the tight ends. He should still be available for a lot of people. Logan Davis, sorry.
Okay.
Davis.
I think you said Thomas before.
Yeah. Is it Thomas or Davis? Either the Washington football team.
Yeah.
Now I'm questioning who this guy is.
Yeah, that's all right. We're not going to be that accurate anyway. Type in Logan, you'll find him.
Either way, I really like the kid.
I mean,
but the tight end, Deshaun Haskins, has found his number one target out there, and he's got more yards.
Looking that bad.
No.
I thought Haskins would be the worst quarterback in the NFL.
Yep, he's playing really good. That offensive line has really.
Foreign look good.
Yeah, and Logan's been picking up a lot. Number 2, Russell Gage, the sleeper wideout for Atlanta. He stepped up a lot with Julio being hurt. He played his balls
Will he be a factor this week if Julio comes back?
You know, I would say yes.
He's earned himself
exactly. He played well. I place him in that slot or on the outside and let Ridley in the middle.
He'd be a good
slot.
flex player, maybe.
Exactly. I like Russell Gage. He's good in matchups, so be wary about that. Drew Sample, tight end for the Bengals.
Yeah.
God,
They lost 2 Thursday night. Lost 2 tight ends in one
yep,
game.
Uzama, who's not bad. I like him. But he got hurt and
somebody else got hurt. And then Drew Sample
showed up and balled.
Yeah.
Really like him. Keelan Cole, the Jaguars. I've talked about him a bunch. I think I was able to pick him up this afternoon on like 3 of my team. So I really like him. I think he's got a great matchup tomorrow night against Miami. So we'll see how that plays out. I'll probably end up regretting it. Last one, Joshua Kelly, running back for the Chargers. Now, a lot of people are going to be kind of iffy about it because we all know Eckler's the guy there. Anthony Lynn has always wanted to be
but Joshua Kelly
like
is going to be the pound out,
and he did. If that was one thing he did that. So I like him a lot.
Yeah, I like Joshua Kelly a lot.
If you can find him, he is definitely worth a pickup. And at least sit on the bench.
And it's kind of a timeshare and kind of wait for Eckler to get hurt. I mean, everyone's getting
hurt at some point.
But it's a good one to stash for later. And we usually don't advocate dropping anyone. It's still early, but I did drop Christian Kirk this week. 2 weeks, he probably scored a total of.
The game?
This
game.
one?
The top one.
Top one where it says gain.
Turn it up to the middle.
There you go.
How's it turn down?
I don't know. So
everything's fucked.
Christian Kirk, terrible. Done with him.
Yeah, the Cardinals are. You've got to kind of just. It's the Hopkins show.
It really is, and the quarterback and the running back.
Yeah, Murray, Drake, and Hopkins. Yeah.
There's not a lot of room for Christian Kirk right now. Maybe later he'll.
If he gets picked up by trade him to like the Vikings.
Oh,
it'd be a great pickup for the Vikings. They need all the help they can get.
Williams for the Chiefs. Is it Darrell Williams?
Williams.
I finally dropped him. I mean, he's not going to see any time without an injury.
And it looked like they were playing Darwin Thompson a bunch yesterday, Sunday too, which was kind of weird because CEH, I mean, he had a decent game, not a great game. But, I mean.
So I dropped him for, I think, McKinnon, and I definitely dropped Anthony Miller. I mean, came up with 0.
So my drop him, Gronkowski. We mentioned it last week, but now for sure, just drop him. Quit trying to think as if he's going to do something. There's too many mouths to feed. He's not going to be a mouth that's going to be fed. Yeah, I just go ahead and drop him. Trade him to your person that's 0-2, who's not smart enough to pay attention to these things, who just know, hey, I like Gronkowski.
Maybe.
And you might be able to get yourself a decent wideout for him. As long as they're not paying attention, they're not knowledgeable, take advantage of them. Yeah, take advantage of that. Maybe trade them off to somebody. Jordan Howard, I'm done with. I can't.
So what tight end are you? Is he not for any tight ends? Do you like
Jordan,
tight ends?
Jordan Howard?
Oh, I thought you meant OJ Howard. Jordan Howard for Miami.
Miami running back, yes. Yeah. It was already by committee with Jordan Howard. He's the older one out of the Burrito, Jordan, and Gaskins, who came out of nowhere. Gaskin is the stud in that, and Jordan Howard's just getting lost in the mix.
Yeah.
And then any player that has a torn ACL, which there's a bunch of, go ahead and drop them.
Yeah, worthless. Any bad knee injury.
Unless you're in a keeper league, you might want to keep hold of them.
Or dynasty.
Yeah, dynasty league. But You just drop them. It's not worth. Like I'm going to go ahead and drop Barkley. No word.
Well,
No,
you have to.
Yeah.
You've got to drop it.
There's no need to.
There are people in some of our leagues that haven't dropped Barkley yet, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Why?
Are you
What are you waiting for?
Like, are you just stupid? Or you just have too much going in your life? You haven't looked at your lineup, or
you're just too invested in that first round pick, I guess.
Oh, yeah, you've got to drop him instantly. Anyone like that. Last week we talked about, I saved it. Gronkowski was a drop for us.
Yep.
And Christian Kirk. And then starts, we had Barkley, which fucking was bad advice.
If he was,
but we would,
if he didn't get hurt, he would have had a great game.
Tyrod Taylor, maybe would have had a good game if he didn't get a needle in the lung. Benny Snell, that was shit. These are just mine, by the way. And Ronald Jones, but I also had him as a sit. He had over 10. He had more points than fucking
Joe Mixon.
Yeah,
they gave him goal line carries.
Oh, and some sits. We all those worked out. Henry Ruggs, Michael Thomas, Sammy Watkins, Miami players.
Did Ruggs?
The Miami players that had
Ruggs not have a big? No, he was a decoy. That's right.
He just ran all over, but he never really caught
the ball. That's right.
It was
Brian
Edwards. Brian Edwards,
yeah,
and the tight end and Josh Jacobs.
Can we
all over.
discuss how great those Raiders played? I was kind of shocked by that.
They played great the last 3 quarters. The first quarter, it looked like David Carr didn't know what the fuck
he was doing.
He was lost.
They played really well. I was
then they got
shocked.
Their defense looked good. Everything looked good. They were sharp.
Yeah, they might be tough to beat.
And the Saints looked like they didn't know what the fuck they were doing.
I think the Saints were just kind of walking through it, just kind of like
Drew Brees looks like Philip Rivers this year.
Derek Carr.
Yeah,
not David.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's his brother. Did I say David?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're both
I don't
very
listen.
Average.
I don't listen to you.
You don't listen to me? All right.
Startums or sit-ems? What do you want to do first?
Oh, yeah. Start them.
All right. Who do you got starting this week?
Ryan Tannehill versus Minnesota.
I like that pick.
He put up 400 yards last week. I tried to get him in our Fox and Hound League. I tried to pick up a third quarter. Did you get him?
I got Tannehill.
I was trying to pick up a third quarterback just to play him this week because Minnesota is going to be a shootout.
Yeah, I am.
He is even with A.J. Brown not doing anything, he is fine.
Tannehill is balling out.
He is,
and a lot of people were questioning if he was going to be just a one season wonder, and they didn't trust this.
He's legit.
And he was legit for what? He had that one great year in Miami, and then he tore his ACL the next year, and he had a hard time coming back.
He tore it on Hard Knocks, I think.
Yep, it was.
Was that his rookie year?
No, because he played his rookie year, and then his sophomore year he had the Pro Bowl season. His third year he got hurt. Fourth year he couldn't cut it and was benched for Matt Moore or some shit.
Yeah, I remember it was Hard Knocks or another show I watched. Ryan Tannehill's rookie year, he's sitting with a coach. Oh, maybe it was pre-draft. They were interviewing. No, it was when it was Miami. They asked him if he knew who was in his division, AFC East. He didn't know any of the teams.
Who cares? Just go out and win.
Wasn't he a wide receiver for an AM? He quarterbacked like 1 year. He was a converted wide receiver.
Yeah, I do know he was a converted wide receiver. I don't even know
he
where
won me a championship last year.
Tannehill's good.
He's legit.
The kid is
undrafted in most leagues.
At 32, he's entering his prime. That's when a lot of quarterbacks enter the prime.
Fuck, I didn't think he was that old. My second one, Darren Waller. I mean, 2 weeks in a row, body of work. And good luck. I mean, against New England, he's gonna. He
should have been starting on your team. If you've had him and you've on your bench, you're an idiot.
Yeah, you're an idiot.
This guy, this Waller is a stud.
And if you have Waller and Kelsey,
good for you.
Yeah, good for you. But trade one of them or put
flex.
one of the flex.
Yeah,
play them both.
Darren
Waller is the number one wide receiver for that team.
Yeah, he is big and he does not go down easy. I love Waller. He's anybody who enjoys the tight end position, played it, they'll just appreciate what he does out there.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
And he has a great story. If you guys look up his story.
Sobriety, man.
Comeback. Yeah. I have Alvin Kamara just because I have him in 2 leagues and because he was the only bright spot for New Orleans. He rolled over. He he had a huge game. He's had a couple of good games.
Running and catching. He's back to his normal ways.
Corey Davis, another
I like Corey.
Tennessee player versus Minnesota, who cannot stop anyone. Apparently,
Yep.
Minnesota just they keep it. It's going to be another high scoring game.
Yeah.
But with AJ Brown out, Corey Davis is going to be the guy, and then I have Allen Robinson because yes, you were right. Allen Robinson is legit. That's why I drafted him, but I had some doubts when he bitched about his contract. But
kid's playing. He's a competitor.
Yes,
he's a competitor. So let's see, two of them that I agree with you with. So Tannehill to Corey Davis. I've got them both on stardoms this week, mainly because once again, like you said, Vikings. They're trash. I'm sorry, that secondary is horrible.
Yeah, they are. And Kirk Cousins, this is the worst he's ever looked. And there's always been doubts. And I think he has a lot of talent. But you trade Stephon Diggs, you bring in a great rookie from LSU, but, I mean, he's got to take some time. You don't have a lot of weapons anymore.
I mean, he's not even using Irv Smith or Rudolph. I mean,
not enough.
And their tight ends are almost unheard of. But, yeah. So I think Tannehill to Corey Davis is going to be something you're going to hear a lot of this weekend.
Yeah.
So those are two.
Make me have to pee.
Miles Sanders against
Miles Sanders has looked good, and you were down on him.
I really was, and it's the matchup that I like more than anything. But once again, we said this earlier. He's the only bright spot on that time.
Philadelphia, there's nothing else worth a shit.
They're playing a very shitty Bengals defense. I think this is going to be Burrow's first win.
They lost last Thursday, didn't they?
But he had a great game. But this will be a win. They looked a lot better than the Browns, but the Browns still won that game. But the Bengals are playing the Eagles, and I think that Bengals will win. But I still think Miles Sanders is going to have a great game.
I think so too.
Out of the backfield, catching and or receiving and rushing. I think he'll pile up.
I can't believe I didn't draft. I wanted him so bad in all 5 of my leagues, and I never got him.
I don't think I have him in any
leagues either. I took him in every one of my mock drafts, but I missed him in.
Kenyon Drake versus the Lions. I mean, he should be starting for your team already. He shouldn't. He should never be on your bench.
He's going to have a fantastic.
This game is going to be lights out for him. They won't have to rely on passing the ball as much. They're going to be able to run all over the Lions defense. Yeah. And I think Drake is going to have a great game. And anybody who has Chase Edmonds, I'd start him as well. A 1-2 punch.
Time.
Yep. 1-2 punch against those Lions. It'll be pretty easy. Last one. I've said this guy's name a lot today. Logan Thomas.
Yeah.
It's actually Thomas, not Davis, for the for the Washington football team against the Browns. Once again, I just really like the kid. The kid's done nothing but catch the ball. He hasn't dropped a pass yet. He's looks the part, and Haskins is playing. So, and plus the Browns defense is really susceptible to the tight end position. Their linebackers can't cover for shit.
Yeah. All right, I like those.
Who do you got sitting?
Oh, fuck.
Ronald Jones?
No. Actually, I didn't write him down. Any Buffalo running back against the Rams, because Aaron Donald and their front seven is good. The number one corner from the Jags, not Mika.
For the Jags, Jalen Ramsey.
Yeah, they got traded. That guy is amazing, but I don't like any of the running backs for the Bills. It's a timeshare anyway.
Yeah, I can see
I don't think either one's going to get more than 5 points.
I'm trying to trade off Singletary anyway.
I have sitting Noah Fant against Pittsburgh because their defense is so good and they're really good against tight ends, but I'm still starting him.
I have him starting. I have to.
But if you're in a situation where you have Noah Fant and maybe the guy you just mentioned from Washington, maybe start Logan and not Fant. I'm in a situation I have to start Fant.
We all talk about how Fant is.
But now it's going to be
the setup because the Steelers part. You've got Driscoll throwing the ball. Yeah. You don't exactly know who he's going to be able to. And the young quarterback or a backup quarterback, their number one favorite person is always the tight end.
So I'm hoping that works out.
That is what I'm hoping.
But I'm not expecting 25 points this week.
No. I think he had 17. Didn't he have 17 last week? I can't remember. Fant's been phenomenal this season, and I think he's going to have a great year.
I think it'll be good.
Especially when Locke gets back. But Driscoll, wasn't too bad, but I still don't trust him, especially against a strong defense like Pittsburgh. So I like that. That's good.
McCole Harbin, you got to sit him against Baltimore. I don't think really besides the running game against Baltimore and the tight end and Tyreek, you're going to see much from Hardman or Watkins.
I wouldn't be shocked if you want to bench many of the Chiefs players. That defense is sick. It's going to be the first time Peters has played against the Chiefs.
So Marcus is really good.
I think Marcus Peters is really going to want to have a heyday and go after Mahomes.
Deshaun Jackson against Cincinnati. Again, the Eagles are god awful, and he's the only one still healthy, right? And
if Rager shows up,
I think Cincinnati. I don't think Rager's going to play. So I think Cincinnati shuts him down. They have at least one good corner.
Yeah.
They'll shut him down. And then have Cam Newton against the Raiders.
After Monday night? Yeah, I can see it.
I think the Raiders can shut him down.
Cam did look great against the Seahawks.
He did. He looked good, but I don't think he should be anyone's backup. He shouldn't be anyone's starter.
I wouldn't mind starting him if I had him.
This week, though?
Not against the Raiders. Not after what I saw.
Starting against Miami or against the Jets.
But he played well against the Seattle. I mean, he
did play well, yeah.
So and you know what? One of my favorite things he's said since he's come back is that he's not playing for money. He's got plenty of money. He's playing
super respectful.
Yeah, he's playing for the love of the game, and that he's playing for respect. I love the fact.
I wish more players.
Yeah, and he's not
like that.
Yeah,
he's got plenty of money.
Yeah, and he's not making like anything this season. Like
he just wants a ring.
Yep, he just wants
to prove that
he's worth a damn.
The Panthers shouldn't let him go.
Yep.
I totally agree with you.
So I love that, but yeah, I mean that's a tough matchup for him.
Yeah.
All right,
what did you do last week, Steven? You used to have like
this is.
Oh, that's
the Yahoo site was kind of wonky.
So
okay, there we go.
1 TD,
397,
1 TD, 1 interception.
Yeah.
Then he's
the yardage I like.
That's the good one right there.
2 TDs rushing.
Yeah,
no fumbles.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
All right, so in the show we have some email questions we got in. One's like specific.
Excuse me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
May I go through my sit-ums?
Oh my God! I thought you. Please, I'm so sorry.
Fuck.
Seriously, you're cut off. No more drinking. God, what an ass.
Go ahead.
God. All right, so
I'm so excited we have emails, but I'm just so excited.
Yeah. Just so eager.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, first sit-em, Brady versus the Broncos. I'm not trusting them. If you've got a better quarterback, play him.
I totally agree with you. That's why I tried to pick up Tannehill.
Yeah,
because I don't want to start Brady.
Todd Gurley versus the Bears. I know a lot of people are wanting to lean towards that because the Bears have given up quite a few. I just don't trust it. I don't trust Gurley to handle it.
I think it'll be more of a passing game.
Yeah.
For both teams, probably.
Ingram against the Chiefs. Now, this one's a little more the only reason why Ingram had a decent game last week was the 30-yard run for the TD. After that, I think he was outcarried by Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins.
If J.K. Dobbins goes off this week,
I'll be fine because I don't need him. But I don't like Ingram's progression in this new system. I think he's really seeing less carries, and they're seeing the younger backs taking them. So as much as I like Ingram and I want to see him get the ball more, I don't think he's going to get the ball much against the Chiefs. Will Fuller versus the Steelers. Once again, a matchup. It's a matchup that you're just not going to want.
Will Fuller, I don't think did jack shit last week.
He didn't do much. I mean, he played, but he didn't do much.
He didn't even have any stats.
Did he not play?
He may not have played.
I could have sworn he played.
He may not have. He may have had a.
I had him on the bench either way. So
I don't like him. I agree with you.
But I have him as a sit-em. He's probably hurt for all we know because he's always hurt.
Yeah.
And then my last one is Evan Ingram, tight end for the Giants against San Francisco. As much as we all love that's like the Giants and this like that San Francisco defense right now, they play tight ends better than any other team.
They do, even with the two defensive players they're missing.
Their defensive linemen, they're not covering.
Yeah.
Their linebacker core is still solid as can be, and their safeties are still good.
They are, yeah.
I don't trust the Giants offense, period, unless you're Darius Slayton. But Evan Ingram, I would bench him if you got another opportunity and you can't.
Play. One game.
No, it doesn't matter.
Game log. I mean,
Another injury that I didn't know about. I don't have them in any of my teams.
Maybe. Or you got to move it to like week 3, but I don't see that. No.
I don't know. I'm not looking at them. I'm not going to try them. I wouldn't worry about them.
All right.
So you have questions that have emailed to us.
I do, yeah. But
that you were so eager about.
I am. I'm so excited.
Let me tell you what happens. Paul Rudd walks into the bar, and he just plops over there. Guess what happens? Everybody that was talking to me goes to see Paul Rudd.
He was with his family.
I don't give a shit.
Thanksgiving night, I believe.
Who cares who the fuck they were with? Paul Rudd's over there with people, and so
he took attention away from you.
Exactly. So what did I do? I
acted out like a child.
Slightly decided to heckle a bit and talk like Clueless sucks in my drunkenness.
Which sounds about the same.
Yes. So few minutes go by, probably a lot longer, who knows. Debbie, the manager on duty at the time, walked over and said, "You've got to go because we're getting complaints about me heckling Paul Rudd," which is bullshit because I go to coaches every day and spend hundreds of dollars, but Paul Rudd shows up and all of a sudden I have to be Mr. "Oh, I like Clueless." No, fuck that guy. He kicked me out of my bar.
I wasn't working that night.
I don't give a shit.
No, but that would have happened if I was there. I just told you to shut up and you wouldn't have been kicked out. Who was working?
I don't fucking know. I was drunk. I don't know. So because of that, Steven, that is the reason why I fucking hate Paul Rudd.
In all fairness, remember I tried to get you kicked out of coaches also for
a lot of people do.
But you don't have the pull like Paul Rudd has.
You're right. You're absolutely right.
When he was sober,
I left instead of you leaving.
Once he got sober and he would just eat in there during bingo and play bingo.
Oh,
he's
good
so
God.
loud and obnoxious. No, people would be like, "You got to cut that guy off." Like, he hasn't drank in like a year.
I was like, well,
like he's the same when he's drunk.
We weren't really on talking terms at that point. You still were kind of the obnoxious guy. But I kept thinking, I thought he was sober. I kept thinking to myself,
he is.
Yeah. As I was drinking my beer.
Yeah. Fuck Paul Rudd.
We'll do a little segment at the end here. Email questions. Hopefully we get some more. Please email us at worstand10 spelled out at gmail.com. Ask us your questions. We'll answer them. Our podcast on Wednesdays. Here's the first one.
Make comments on Facebook. You can send us Facebook messages.
What the fuck is BJ sending me a goddamn Bible for?
I don't know. All right, here's the first one. I put this one up front. Why is Nick such a dope and over-explains everything? Plus, should I start Leonard Fournette or Ronald Jones?
Okay, so why am I a dope? Who the fuck asked a dope? I am not a dope.
Right.
I over-explain things because I want you guys to have knowledge.
All right.
And if I was anything
Jones.
For another thing, dope is such a 70s term.
Yeah, it's probably an old person.
Okay, Fournette or who?
Jones.
Ronald Jones?
Yeah.
Yeah, Fournette. We already touched on that.
Yeah, we did touch on that.
Yeah.
Can I drop Sammy Watkins going forward, or do you think he's worth a trade?
I saw him walk off the field gingerly. I feel like his season's over.
It usually is after one.
But if this listener is in the Kansas City area, fish for some trades.
Yeah, then you can. Yeah.
Yeah. There are stupid enough fantasy players out there that might sit there and go, "I love Sammy Watkins. I'll give you fucking Odell Beckham Jr."
Yeah.
Go for
make
it.
that trade for sure.
Go for it. Try it.
This email, I have Saquon Barkley, Jimmy Garoppolo, and Kenny Galladay. What should I do?
Quit?
Yeah. Well, Galladay's going to play this week. Garoppolo's hopefully your backup. Or hope that, like he said, COVID takes over and then you get a refund. Hope they cancel the NFL. But we don't want that. But I could think of a worse scenario than those three. Galladay could still.
Garoppolo wasn't going to get you a lot of fantasy points anyway.
No, not with everyone else being injured. No.
So, I mean, I definitely shop for a better QB. I mean, there'll be one out there. Yeah. I'm sure you can play around with the waivers. As for the Barkley thing.
Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
Probably not available.
Burrow, even Herbert.
Barkley drop it.
Barkley drop, pick up Deion Lewis, Devontae Freeman, Joshua Kelly. There's players out there. And if you have enough wideouts, you can make some trades. Dance around with it. See if you can get anybody to bite.
Yeah. All right. This one's maybe this one's definitely my favorite.
Save it for the last.
Huh?
If it's your favorite, save it to the end. The last one.
No, trust me. The last one is
going to take me another 30 minutes to answer.
No. Nick sounds hot. Do you have video part of your show? And yes, we do. It's on YouTube. And we post the links on Facebook.
I am hot. I am the face of this show.
Yeah, we know. You're more attractive. What was the tight end for Carolina?
Hawkinson.
No.
No?
For Carolina. It's now in Seattle. You said
Greg Olsen.
You're a more attractive Greg Olsen.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll buy it. Or a less attractive Gronkowski. Right in the middle there. All right. Yes, we have the video part of our show. We put it usually ends up Thursdays, Fridays.
Whenever.
Yeah. Yeah. He's probably better looking than the advice he gives.
Yeah.
Question for Nick only. Yes. Should I start Matt Ryan or Patrick Mahomes this week?
Oh.
And then it says, I'll do the opposite of what he says. Love your podcast.
All right. If you're going to do the opposite, start Mahomes. I don't like the Mahomes matchup against the Ravens at all. Who's Atlanta playing? Find that for me real quick. In all honesty, I think Matt Ryan's got a better chance of getting more yards.
And they'll probably lose the game, but he'll have better fantasy
points.
Yeah.
But it's hard to sit there and say to bench Mahomes as a fan, and for the fact that it's Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, if you have Patrick Mahomes and Matt Ryan as your fucking backup, you're in a good quarterback position. Flip a coin.
Yeah,
you're making the playoffs.
If this is a matchup that it's hard for me to say this, but I would definitely start Matt Ryan. I think it's just a better matchup for him.
And this one is targeted obviously to me, and I don't know this person, but they watch a show or it's a friend of mine or other. The Buffalo Bills are so going to be terrible by the end of this year. So I'm like, fuck you. I'm not.
Wait a second. So that wasn't even a question. That was just a comment. The Buffalo Bills sucking.
So we made that last. So
the Buffalo Bills will suck this year. Mm. And you can't blame it because of Josh Allen. The kid's balling.
Are they 0-2 now?
2-0.
2-0?
No.
Fuck.
Sorry, he would have figured it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But the Buffalo Bills are playing tough, and unfortunately,
win the AFC.
I think it's going to be the Patriots again.
You're an idiot.
I am an idiot, and according to this person, you should take the exact opposite of my advice. But
got it.
But I do think the Patriots, after watching them play against Seattle, I really like. I think that.
They look good.
I think
we play Seattle also, so we'll see how we do.
Oh, you're going to get destroyed. Russell Wilson is by far the best player in the NFL right now.
Well, if he doesn't get in,
how great of that pickup in 4 of my leagues has Russell Wilson been?
Yeah, that's
God. 3rd, 4th round, and was still able to grab him. Everybody's like, "Oh no, fuck you guys."
Pat yourself on the back closer to like week 12. It's not even week 3 yet. Calm down. All right, that's our show.
That's it?
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks for watching and listening. On all the platforms, we're available on all of them. We'll be back next week. I'm excited for the Sunday to watch football.
I'm still going to be hot.
Yep. All right, have a good night.
Cool.
Washington State.